I'd really like it if that thing would stop playing. Let's see here. Stop. Just stop. Alrighty. Wow. Evening, folks. Greg, Jeff, Quasor, Studio 8. Good to see you. Oh, thanks, Jeff. So I heard a few crackles in there, some on purpose, some not. Apparently 5 instances of Pigments is just a touch too much for my computer, or something. I'm not sure what's going on. But that's supposed to have stopped. Let's come over here. Try that again. All right, that should get that to stop, and then I can go there. All right. Now stay. All right, so let's real quick do the thing that we do. We'll go through the what's in the jam. Yeah, Pigments can definitely get hungry, and I've got 5 instances loaded, and 3 of which were active because we're going to play with the other 2 tonight. But let's go through real quick, and if you were listening to the stream yesterday, the live, gotta not touch that. The live from yesterday, you heard most of these sounds already, but they were mixed in with everybody else. So real quick, we'll go through. Let's see. First thing up is not an instance of Pigments. It's actually the modified version of my usual little arpeggiator pluck thing. All right, thanks, Craig. We'll be on the lookout. So anyway, the ARP thing, like it usually is. Next up, the drones were handled by an instance of Pigments. Mostly playing root and fifths, maybe some other things thrown in here and there. And all of these patches that are in Pigments are ones that I came up with. Let's see if I can do this real quick. Hey, Luke, welcome. Yeah, I can do that. So I have control over the four macros with the first 4 knobs on the Control S. So this one's kind of simple. We can just take some of the fatness out of it. And use it a little more like a standard pad. And then let's go back to that full screen. And we've got something that shortens up the attack and decay. And then something that takes a little bit of the edge off of it. Hey, Paul. So that's that one. And then the next track over is a higher pad. Pigments. And this one's got 4 things on the macros. I can kind of go between this, bring in this plucky thing. Or this choiry thing. So Studio 8, have you headed off to since you're no longer in Laurel? Just general area. Oh, Lamont's here. If you back out some of these other things, you get these neat little crystal shards going on. And this thing's pretty well buried in effects, and I've got a macro set up so I can turn them off, basically. So, anyway, that's that patch. Set that back up the way I had it. Usually has everything cranked up. Let's see what else is next. Is this? I got this kind of electric digital stardust, a repeat digital stardust thing I came up with. Very similar to the last one. In fact, it's based on the last one, just with some different setups. This one's got a lot of stereo width to it, which I can narrow down. Move it mostly to center. You can hear I widen it out there. And let's see, there's this one is control of basically the effects mix. So I can almost bury it. And then this one kind of fades between the two sounds, morphs between the two sounds. So there's basically this guy mixed into this. So I've been having a great time playing with Pigments, obviously. And let's see, the only other thing going on, I had a little bit of polybrute going. That's this sound. This one's got my, I didn't use it at all, but I've got the, one of course has the ribbon control going. I haven't decided, Paul, what I'm bringing yet. So, anyway, that's what was in the mix tonight. Let's go ahead and see if we can get, just a basic drone going real quick. And there was a little bit of this light percussion stuff going on in the background. My usual favorite. Oops, didn't want that. Stop. I said stop. Oh, because there's no stop button there. Down here. There we go. One of the problems with reusing shows from or projects from one week to the next is there's a lot of cruft left over. So this one's getting to be a little cranky. I'll probably for next week build a whole new project, but a lot of times I don't have time, so I just kind of wedge things together. So anyway, so I've got the percussion. Actually, it's turned off at the moment. So I got the percussion like I did for the jam yesterday, mostly rolled off. You can see I've got in here, I've got this filter on it that's just got just all the top end rolled off of it. Ordinarily this would sound more like this, but I really just kind of wanted some rhythmic feel more than anything else. Didn't want a whole lot of competition from the percussion. So we'll go ahead and turn the drone back on and turn it down pretty low, and we'll start talking about some stuff. Hey Wabbit, good to see you. Welcome to the evening. And let's see, you racked, Paul re-racked, oh, you re-racked everything. Got it. Is everything working? I know we had a bunch of frustration the last time with the okay, so I can show you quickly when we get to it about a little bit about how the vocoder works. I have not had time to play with it yet, but we can definitely putz with a little bit tonight. Tonight I wanted to talk more about the modal engine and the cluster filters, and some of the other modulation stuff that's going on, because there's a lot of cool stuff going on in here. Go back to this. So that's where we'll start. We'll go ahead and start with Pigments. And let's see. That's really weird, Paul. I'm glad it's working though, because it was a little funky last time. So anyway, let's go ahead and get into playing with some Pigments. I'm going to go ahead and go to this track here that doesn't have anything on it, just has a basic patch. Let's go ahead and turn Pigments on. So we just got the basic patch here. Yeah, I don't like the light theme myself, Paul. I mean, it's there, but it's not my favorite. So let's go. I'm going to go ahead and take this up full screen, and we're trying to. There we go. I'm going to move this. Nope, that's not full. Yeah, that's full screen. There we go. Let's move this over here so we can do this. See it a little bigger. Now, because I'm using the complete control key or the Control S keyboard, I've got this running with incomplete control so that I have the plug-in control from the keyboard. Lets me control the macros and whatever one. I can do almost full editing on the keyboard, but usually for demos I go ahead and show I show the full screen. Excuse me. Sorry, gang, couldn't get to the mute button fast enough. Yeah, a little water go down the wrong way there. So anyway, let's just kind of work through. So in the new version, this is Pigment 6. New version has the doctor's headlight. New version has the new engines, new filters, a few other little things. There's a new modulator under the randoms, a couple other things. In the combinated, I think it is, we can do an envelope follower now. Man. And then, as mentioned in the filters, now we have the vocoder. But I'm going to start out kind of simple here. Let's see. We'll put that up. And the coolest thing to me is, yeah, definitely a really solid upgrade. And you know, Arturia, when they do a .0 or a .5 upgrade, it's usually a pretty big deal. Yeah, so there's a whole bunch of stuff. That's the other thing. This is if you're a current user of Pigments, this is a free upgrade. Pigments is currently on sale for $99 for new users. Have to make the announcement. This is not video's not sponsored. Although I'm talking mostly about Arturia stuff and some other stuff tonight. Or largely about Arturia stuff tonight. No sponsors, so I buy my stuff. I've been using Pigments now for several versions, so just happen to really like Arturia stuff. So first up in the, we'll go ahead and get to this this new oscillator type. Facts restated, yeah. So this new is this modal oscillator, and it's really kind of an interesting thing. It's like kind of a physical modeling kind of engine. Is really the best way to describe it. It's got a couple of primary modes. One they call string, which if you just play it sounds like a sawtooth. And then it's also got another primary mode called beam, which is kind of simulate hitting something, I believe, like a tine. So it's got a very nice, like, tine toy piano is actually what this sounds a lot like. Yeah, so you can start to mess with, there's a lot of stuff in here to mess with. So over here you got your basic coarse and fine tuning, and you can quantize that if you want in various different ways. Yeah, I think, and I didn't get in that early, but I got in, I think it was version 2 or something I got in. So I don't, I'm not a big preset guy. So I don't, for the most part, unless I really like somebody's work or want to support what they're doing, their tutorials and stuff in other ways, I don't tend to buy a lot of preset packs. So that's, I don't, it comes with a bunch, and if it comes with it, I'll go ahead and they get installed, but I don't typically buy presets. Like I said, unless I really, really like the creator's other content. So anyway, so back to the modal engine. We can mess around with stuff like I'm still in Beam, so that's the basic thing. We can messy with the attack. Cranking CPU. Let's turn a couple things off that I don't need. I'm going to move some things around here while I'm doing this real quick. I don't need. See, I'm not going to need this one anymore tonight because we're going to make a new preset to play with in its place. Probably don't need this one anymore tonight. So, okay. So as we mentioned earlier, this guy can be a pretty heavy hitter as far as CPU is concerned. That's my one gripe with it. It is not light on CPU, especially when you've got a whole bunch of stuff banging, using a whole bunch of its internal effects and everything. So anyway, attack does this kind of thing, and you can hear that this is a collision. So you can hear it as you turn the attack up. You get this kind of multiple bangs on the beam in this case. Which is kind of a neat sound. The other thing you've got in here, you've got different kinds of I guess the best way to describe this is the actuator, so to speak. So with the beam, you've also got a transient, which bangs basically harder on it. I'm going to go ahead and, for the beam, I'm going to go ahead and tune this down an octave. go. And there's some other things you can do with the transient. You get all these different kinds of transients. Lamar, hey, how you doing? So there's that. And a lot of these things can be keyboard tracked or not as well. So like this one, we've got it so that I can set it up so the laser beam always hits at the same sound. And then you can tune that. So all kinds of stuff you can do there. I'm going to go ahead and leave that the key track. And let's see. Let's find. I liked that. Rebound sound. That was nice. Now we're going to take this actually and turn it into a pad by the time we're done, or try to. Yeah, we should be able to do that with just a little bit of a ting on the front end. So within the beam itself, we've got things like stereo spread. We can do detune. We can actually have a sub oscillator. So let's just have we'll leave that at its default. I'll take your word for that, Luke. I didn't hear that anywhere, but okay. I know that that Arturia and Native Instruments are working together on some things, because more and more Arturia is making all of their software fall into the NKS compatibility, so it works well with the Native Instruments controllers. So I'm going to go ahead and turn the decay up on this so it kind of fades off a little. And we can do some other things in here. This is just it's a great place fun thing to experiment with. It's like all these. We can make that a little. We can even do drums. I silenced my phone, Craig. So anyway, I want this more of the ting kind of for this. So you can do all this warp thing that's got going on. Oh, so yeah, Paul. Yes, there are a lot of hardwareable ideas, and there are several pieces of hardware out in the market that are based on reactor instruments, which I found very interesting, and vice versa. There's reactor instruments that have been made to to mimic certain hardware. Very cool stuff. There's one called there's a reactor instrument called Crude, which I've talked about before. That is available both as hardware and a reactor instrument. It's very cool. And yes, Steam Pipe is another prime example of that. Yeah, Luke, exactly. I'm not sure this is going to end up being this may be a new lead instrument by the time we're done. And so the other thing is, most of this stuff, if you hover over something and you see a little plus sign by it, that means it's modulatable. So any of pretty much any one of these controls in this engine, not all of them, but most of them can be modulated, and we'll do some of that. Some of them have more effect than others, depending on what resonator type you're using. And then we've got a whole bunch of stuff we can do over here. We can granularize this thing. Easy for me to say. There's a lot of different types of granularizers. These are kind of preset granularizers, so there's a little bit of a little less flexibility in the granular part of the modal engine than there is in the full granularizer in the sample engine. But you can get some nice effects. I wonder if I take this back up to all right, now we're getting somewhere. Let's go ahead and we're going to kind of bring the envelope up on that. And of course we've got we can filter it. I'm going to go ahead and run this through one of the new filters. There's a whole bunch of filters now that weren't there before. We got two basic new ones. We've got the cluster filter, which I like a lot, and there's also a lo-fi filter, which I'm kind of coming to grips with. But it's kind of a weird filter. We'll touch on it a little bit. Let's go ahead and throw. We'll just go ahead and throw this one on there, and bring the cutoff down. And so these cluster filters are basically have a whole bunch of peaks in the filter, and you can widen out the number of peaks up to, this one's got up to 5, and the spread, so you can kind of get this thing like this. Let's see, what is it? A bit more subtle than I thought it would be on this. Can I walk it through a filter? I'm not sure what you're asking, Wabbit. Let's see. Let's try. Let's do this. Let's get something with a little more of an edge on it. Oh. Hardy har. So there's different versions of the cluster filter. There's the 18. There's a band pass. Yeah, you're gonna try and derail me. I got plans for tonight, guys. So good luck with that. All right, so let's go ahead and I'm going to go ahead right off the bat. We're going to modulate that the cutoff on that. We'll just drag that over here. I say I'll drag that over here. It's going to argue with me? Okay, fine. I'll do it this way. Always two ways to do things in here in Pigments. So you can see it whacking around there. Let's go here. Let's slow that bad boy down. Let's make it synced and make it slow. We'll do it. There we go. Yeah, there was not a whole lot of harmonics in that other in the tine sound, and that's why it wasn't you weren't hearing so much from it. Let's see. I'm going to turn the resonance down on that. It's a little peaky. Kind of roll off some of the high end in the oscillator itself. Let's slow that granular engine down. So this is how I kind of got that shard effect, that tinkly shard in the other sound that I did, the crystal choir. Okay, so now we can take and let's see, let's throw a little bit of random on that rate control here. So we'll take random. We'll start with random 2 because it's kind of sort of like the way I want it to be. And none of this is wanting to line up the way. That's weird. Usually I can drag from here, just drag it onto the control. So I'm not sure what's going on with that tonight because yesterday I could. So we'll just go ahead and do that. It's no big deal. Been having some weird things go on lately. Okay, so we've got that there a little bit. That's kind of nice. I like that. So all right, we got that going. And we can kind of fade that in and out if we want to. I'm going to go ahead and leave it alone. Just leave it be constant. And I'm going to go back to this amplitude envelope. Whoops, that's not what I wanted. Click there. Drag out the decay, or the release, I'm sorry. Jeez. I'm going to take this, and right now I've got the filter set to run in series. So I'm going to go ahead and turn the second filter on. I'm just going to take a standard low pass here, turn the cutoff down a little bit. Oh, I'm getting jumpies tonight either. That's not normal either. I'm going to take this same slow LFO1. We're going to go ahead and assign that to the cutoff. Here, let's see, actually do it this way. But I'll take this out of phase from the other. Actually, nope. You know what? I'm not going to do that. I'm going to take the other LFO for that. We'll go to LFO 2, and I will put it on the cutoff, just a touch. All right, Luke, have a pleasant evening. We'll talk to you later. Thanks for stopping by. So we've got this really nice dreamy pad-like effect. I don't even have any effects on this yet. And I really don't know why I'm slamming the CPU like this tonight. This is really strange. I'm definitely going to have to rebuild this project for next week. All right, so let's go ahead and put some effects on this. And this is going to be nice and simple. I don't have a whole lot to do here. So first effect, I'm going to go ahead and put on, let's see. I'll use the pitch shift delay, I think. And we will set this to dotted eighths, because that's what we do. And we'll turn up the stereo offset a bit, and we're going to take the pitch and have it kind of walk up in thirds, so 5 semitones, I think. And I'm going to turn that just so it's just barely there. Because there's some things that go a really long way. And then I'm going to do, I'm going to double down on the things that a little bit go a long way. And I'm going to follow that up with a shimmer reverb. It's not too bad. Let's see. So what we've got here, we've got one engine, a couple of filters, a couple of modulated filters, and one envelope and some effects, and it's we end up with a nice ambient pad. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and assign some macros. I'm going to get macro 1. We're going to call this grains. And what this one's going to do, you can kind of guess, is that I'm going to learn to type. And this one we're going to take and I'm going to have it vary the number of grains. Where was that? I'll have it vary the volume of the grains. That'll work. So we'll take this guy, and it's still not working. I'm not sure what's up with that. Boom. So we'll take that, turn that up there, turn this down there. So now when I control macro 1, Now there's still that LFO controlling some of that too, so or the rate of that. So there's going to be a little bit of oh. Okay, I just lost my monitoring. Let's see. Stand by for a second, guys. Let me grab another pair of headphones. My the batteries in my wireless pack died. Let's see. So I am going. You can't see it, but I'm going on putting the big cans on. No, it's not a not an issue with shutdown. Just me losing my audio, my headphones. There we go. So now I can hear. Let's see. How's this sound? So it's hard to see, but there's a little dot right here by the volume. And as I turn the knob, that moves and varies the volume of the grains. So the other thing I'm going to add on this, I think I'm going to bring that, yeah, I'll leave that. The other thing I'm going to do with this is I'm going to have this add more shimmer as we turn it up, or control the shimmer level as well. So we'll just do that, and that'll tell me how far it's going to go. Oh, I'm monitoring. Go. That should work. I want there to be some shimmer when the knob's turned down. That'll work. That'll work. So, and let's see, what else are we going to control with macros? Let's see what else is fun to play with here. Doesn't have a whole lot of effect. I think I'm going to put that on an LFO. Uh-oh. Oh. Really? Just go away. Let's put a random on. Where was I? What was I playing with there? Oh, the shape. Let's go ahead and put a random on the shape. Oh, you know what? I'm going to put the voice modulator on the shape. This is a new modulation source in version 6. It's pretty cool. As you play each note, I'm pressing notes on the keys. You see each one of those is lighting up, or different ones of those is lighting up. It kind of does it in a random manner, and each note then will have a different value for the Asaph, good to see you. For it's kind of like a sample and hold, but it doesn't. It holds while the note's held down. And if you hit 3 keys, you see you get 4 different levels that all hold, or 4 keys you get 4 different levels that hold, and they move around. So that's really kind of a cool modulator. So let's go ahead, let's put that on the shape. So we're going to put this on random 3, and we'll hit that up there. So in this case, it's pretty subtle, but that's good. All right, so I'm liking that. So that's going to be, so I've got that on there with this this voice modulator. So another new thing that you can do in this version is you can modulate modulators. So I'm going to try and see if I can get this thing to pick up, like I've got this guy here. So I should be able to take, let's say, macro 2 and bring this over to that. And why is stuff not working? You know, I wonder, this is interesting. I'm wondering if complete control is getting in the way of this. So I'm going to do something real quick. Real quick, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to save off this preset. And let's see, we'll call it... we'll just, for now anyway, we'll call it 2-3 pad. And I'm going to put it in my bank so I can find it again quickly. And might as well go ahead and do the thing here in M. Type is going to be pad. And oh, let's see. Evolving. There we go. And I'll just do that for now. So I'm going to go ahead and close this instance out. Now, the sad part of this is I'm not going to have control of this from the keyboard when I come back in, but that's okay. I'll get to that. So let's go ahead and kill this off, and I'm going to delete this from here. And let me go to Arturia, and this will be a bug to send to the folks at Native Instruments and Arturia. So let's see. Go to Pigments, grab Pigments, drop it on the track, and boom, here it is. And I'm going to come in here, go to Banks, here and M, 2-3 pad. So here we are, back where we left off. All right, so I want to take macro 2 and use that to control the amount of what were we just playing with, this guy here. So to do that, I should just be able to grab that, bring it over here. So now you see we've got two things happen. So we've got this hard to show, but just underneath my little pointer is a control, and that would be just to put the macro on the shape control. But you can see down a little bit below and to the left of that is another circle, and that circle allows me to put this modulator on the control the amount of the random. So I'm going to bring that actually down then a little bit and turn this guy up a bit. So now as I control, let's see, it's hard to, can't really show it, but as I bring macro 2 up, there's more of a deviation in those shape changes. So that's a new feature for version 6. Couldn't do that before. It was something that was really cool in that you could do in Vital for years, but new, like I said, to 6. And let's see, what else might we want to monkey with that one without getting. I like to add some fun to these, but I don't like going over the top. Like a lot of demo stuff just ends up going over the top, and I don't like to do that because I like to have something as useful when I'm done. So anyway, let's see. Let's go ahead. Let's also put voice panning on that. And we'll turn that up a good bit. And what I'm going to call this is I'm going to call this motion. Or motions. So you should be able to hear some things moving around from left to right. Let's turn that down a little bit. It gets a little loud. Where am I? Here I am. There we go. The other thing I haven't fooled with yet is adding any modulation from the keyboard, like mod wheel or aftertouch. I know what we can do. Let's see. Turn the partials down by default. And I'm going to put aftertouch on the number of partials. Okay, another thing I'm going to do is I'm going to let this other macro 3, I'm going to let that control, I'm going to call this control slow, and what it's going to do is it's going to lengthen out the amplitude envelope even more. Yeah, CPU spiking like crazy. I've got 4 or 5 instances of Pigments running, and I've been having. This is a little weird to me. It doesn't usually. This machine usually takes a lot of pounding, but as I said earlier, you weren't here, but I recycle these live sets from week to week to week to week, and they start to get full of cruft and all kinds of mess. So I really need to go back through and build another new one, and start fresh. That usually tends to clean it up a little bit too. So anyway, real quick, let's go ahead and grab this assign. We're going to drag it. We're going to put it on attack, and we'll bring that up, and we're also going to put it on. We'll put it on release and do that. And let's see. Oh, I know what else I'll do. I'll grab it to sustain and actually bring that down a little bit. And decay and bring that up some. So now we've got what we started with. And if I turn slow up, oh, and I didn't turn the sustain itself down. Down. I gotta have it come up somewhere to come up too. Well, like I said, I'm slamming. I've a couple of the instances are turned off, but I've had as many as 4 instances going tonight, plus an instance of contact, plus a couple other things, plus all the voice processing stuff that goes on. So I'm pushing. I'm kind of pushing hard. The only thing that's not happening here, I'm not doing the streaming out of the computer. I'll also say that I wish the M4 Max had come out sooner than they did, because instead of rebuilding this PC when I did it, if I had known what was coming, which we never can from Apple, but if I had known what was going on, or what was going to go on, I would have bought an M4 Mac Mini instead. Let's see. Excuse me. What other motion do we want to add to this? Because I love motion in pads. What else can we do? Oh, I know what we can do. At the risk of really blowing things up, let's go ahead and turn a second engine on. I'm going to make this one just for ease of things. Even the regular M4 chip is with 16 gig is really kicking butt, apparently. I'm just going to turn on a wavetable, and let's see. We'll grab a complex. This dumb soup one is kind of cool. It's subtle but cool. I'm going to let the filter routing go just through the same filter chain as the other. And we will take LFO3. Let's work with LFO3. Actually, no, we're going to take random 2. And we're going to put that on the position. I say we're going to put it on the position. We'll turn that up. And give it a wider swing, maybe. And we'll turn the output of that down a little bit. I just want it subtly there. Nice, nice, nice. I'll take LFO3, slow it way the heck down. Let's sync it and put it to 4 bars. And we'll take that guy and we're going to put that on the wave folding. Bring it up a bit. Turn this way down, because I don't want it to overpower what we did with the modal. Now, what I could have done, I keep forgetting about this. I could have used this part of the wavetable synth has its own modulator for all these controls. In fact, let's go ahead and do that. Let's go in here and turn that off, and instead I'm going to take this one and turn it let's do, that's interesting too. It'll go to, yeah, that could be fun. What else do we have here? Yeah, let's take this and set it to absolute, and let's semitones. Okay, that'll be cool. We'll go ahead and make it a ratio. It really is, Jeff. I mean, you know, there's not a whole lot of noise you can't make not a whole lot of kind of noise you can't make in Pigments. So I'm going to go ahead and take this. We'll make it a square. We'll turn the modulation up, and we'll bring that into the fold modulator. You know what? I'm going to change the way I've got the voice panning set up too. I don't like what's going on there. Make that go away. Instead, I'm going to grab that, go back into the random, and I'm going to make do another one of those voice modulators. And I'm going to take, so that's random 1. We're going to take random 1 and put that on the voice pan. And bring it up a bit. Whoops. There. And let's see, I want this to, I'm going to reassign mode. So another thing I'm going to do, I'm going to bring the overall cutoff frequency of filter 2 down a little bit, just to soften the edges a little more on this. All right, go ahead and save this. I think this is, with a couple of exceptions, there's still a couple of things I'm still going to want to do, but I'm going to call that a done preset for now. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and grab, let's see, this sequence and drag that there, tell it to play. And in theory, it should play. I do have notes in it, right? Oh, it'll get, yeah, it's got a, here we go. Yeah, Pigments is fast becoming my favorite VST. And I've got a few of them to play with. But as far as an overall synth playground, as you said, as was said earlier, as Jeff said, this is, you know, it's really becoming the most fun thing I've got going on. So anyway, while that's playing on in the background, let's catch on or continue on. We got about 15 minutes left, and I want to be out of the way so Jeff can start up. Other new stuff going on. So at the risk of blowing everything up. Lunacy Audio came out with a new module for their beam effect, and so let's see. We'll go ahead and I'll let you listen to real quick to that. The new plugin is, or the new part is called Volt, and essentially it is a yeah. So, and we'll talk about this. This stuff's on sale too. So I'm going to run the Polybrute through this just because it's simple. It's set up, and it won't eat too much more CPU up, I don't think. Man, we're killing CPU tonight. This is weird. Let's see. What can I make go away? Well, at least while we're doing this, I'll turn the percussion off and actually go into the track and power it down. That'll free up a little bit of CPU. So anyway, back to this guy. Beam is really cool, and I've done a video, a couple of videos on Beam in the past. So this one I just want to concentrate on the new bit. The new bit is we'll just work with a knit patch to start, and let me turn these other guys down some real quick. So they're mostly out of the way. You hear what we're playing with here. Okay. So we just got, I'm just running a basic sawtooth into out of the Polybrute. We'll go ahead and turn this guy on. So I've got this is the default patch for Beam. And basically it's got a reverb and a granulizer in the default patch. And each one of these has all kinds of settings. You can get into each one, and I can make the space. I can make the space bigger, and give more of it. Whoops, I say, turn the mix up and give you more of it, and So Beam, the Beam is this multi-effect from Lunacy Audio. There's a link in all this stuff I'm talking about. There's links in the description for the video, and also in the page on the website. So all of this is linked. But Beam is this crazy multi-effect engine or system from Lunacy Audio. So right now I've got this reverb and this granular thing going. We can turn the grains. I keep doing the wrong thing. We can bring the grains down. So nice, nice sounding stuff. I want to dispense with all this, so I'm just going to get those, make them go away. I really just want to talk quickly about the new one, the new node, and the new node is called Volt. It's a multi. So the new node is basically a distortion, but it's got it's I typically don't like distortions. I'm not a distortion guy, but this one's really pretty cool. If we go into it, we've got 3 kinds of distortion. We've got heat, which is this flame thing. And I just cranked it to the max. And I don't like cranking stuff up a lot. As I've said, I like things to be subtle in my world. So you've got the flame, you've got the charge. Let's give something that's a little more interesting sonically here. Let's get both oscillators going. make sure that the internal distortions and stuff are down for the polybrute. So that's what charge does. It adds some crushing. The thing about this that I like is that even with it cranked up, it's still musical, and you've got filtering, contour controls. It's kind of like an overgrown guitar distortion pedal. And you can start moving this thing around. Now this is cool because all this stuff can be, everything in here can be modulated too. So we could take this LFO and drag it onto the scatter control and drag it onto the frequency control and do this. Now it's blasting out, but let's turn these guys down a bit. That one's a little over the top. Let's bring that. So, turn the depth way down on the whole thing, and it becomes a bit more subtle. So yeah, bit crushing I'm kind of the same way. So, but if we back it off and make it really subtle, it becomes not so bad. If I'm going to shred some metal, I'm actually going to take these this LFO weight probably pretty much out. Let's see. Get here. Turn this scatter thing down, this thing down. Anyway, so anyway, that's this new thing to be this new add-in for Beam, and so I can now one thing I can do real quick, I could add nodes to this, so we can take and we can put reverb behind it or after it, you know. And now we can split this thing. We can split this path. So we have this path that goes around the whole thing, and we can put the granulator in the path there. Let's back it off a little bit. I say, there we go. So we will back it out of the mix. I'm not going to get into all the controls. It's a full granulator. So that's now running in parallel to the other two. So yeah, this is, I mean, it's really a deep effect. I have nights like that sometimes. It's like, and I'm still a little whacked out from having been in. I mean, it's been a week now, but you know, I was 5 hours off for a full week when I was in Iceland, and then coming back to the East Coast, it's a 5-hour time change, and I still haven't quite gotten over that. So anyway, that's that. I got about 5 more minutes I want to get through. Real quick. I'm just going to go back and talk to you about these things real quick. I'll read it right off my phone. Links for this stuff, like I said, are below. Native Instruments has made some announcements, improvements to that are of interest to me primarily. They did some upgrades for machine or Machina. They've also are rolling out some, or will be doing these things. These roll out first quarter sometime supposedly. Um, they are expanding on controls within Control S, which is one thing that's really interesting to me. They're rolling out the arpeggiator, which was that's not a big deal to me, but pretty cool um, for using it in standalone mode. Standalone mode is coming along and getting more and more. So arpeggiators, they've got some accessibility features. They're expanding on contact integration. What is going on out there? Something going on out in the hall. Let's see. So you'll be able to do arpeggiators, chords, key splits, multiple MIDI channels on both DIN MIDI and USB MIDI coming out of the controller itself. So that'll let you do splits, layers, all that kind of thing within the keyboard itself. Native Instruments is also expanding partnerships for hardware integration. They've been working on software. Arturia, Yuhi, a whole bunch of others are on board. So they're now working with Akai, Korg, Nectar, M Audio, and Novation, with more coming for integration with other folks' hardware. It's not going to be quite as fully featured as the Control S is because of the screen and stuff like that, but all those are coming. So from Akai, they're looking at the MPK Mini Mark III, the MPK Mini Plus, Mini Play, and 249. Korg for the Key Stage 49 and 61. Nectar's LX series, LX Plus series, M Audio's good old Oxygen Pro. Oxygen Pro has been around forever, and it still gets love all the time, which is fantastic. I'm a little surprised. I'm a little surprised by that, honestly. But the Oxygen Pro keyboards were nice. I had one a long time ago. From Novation, FL Key, Launch Key 49, and the 49SL Mark III are also getting integration. Finally, last announcement, and then I'm going to get out of the way. Dawesome is kind of sort of moving out from the underneath the Tracktion umbrella and striking out. They'll be selling stuff on their own website. That link is below. Again, none of this stuff is sponsored, so I'm just just stuff I'm seeing and passing along. Also, some things I want to talk about in the future. We're out of time tonight, obviously. We got about 2 minutes. I've been having some thoughts about ambient and about ambient music. That's what I love to make. But I was listening to some interviews and reading some stuff, some Brian Eno stuff. Brian Eno, of course, is the one who coined the term ambient music, and arguably the first piece was his Music for Airports. And he's got some interesting thoughts on what ambient is and isn't. There's links to a whole bunch of interviews and stuff with Brian Eno below. Encourage you to take a listen to them. They're all very, very interesting. His outlook on music and art is very, very interesting, and we could talk about that more next week. So anyway, that's going to be it for me. I'm going to fire up the sequences again, and I'm going to head on out. Jeff Hopkins is up next. Hop on over to his channel, and I'm sure he's going to be doing something cool and interesting tonight. So anyway, that's it for me. Thanks, guys. Have a great week, and we'll see you soon.